Welcome back to BaldHeaded Metal, and welcome back to another review. This time around, it's going to be for the band Infected Rain and their new album, Exdysis, which came out on January 7th in 2022. The record is 54 minutes, which is on the long side. And for a little background about this band, it's a band that comes out of Moldova, which my brother was actually born in Moldova. I was born in the North Caucasus, so it's a Republic of Russia, and where I was born. So I already had I was a little bit partial to the band from the beginning. I didn't know anything about them actually. I've seen thumbnails all over. I never really clicked on it, especially when I found out it was kind of this new metal, electronic music, melodic death metal mix, which I didn't know if I was going to enjoy that really. You know, it's kind of a weird mix to put into a heavy metal band. We know how we feel about new metal. We know, we hear that, it's like, oh, it's Limp Bizkit, it's a Linkin Park. I don't know if this is really for me. We automatically kind of write it off as maybe some poppy crap or something like that. And I gotta tell you, coming in blind and just giving this album a chance, I came away really surprised. I think that this new metal, electronic music, and melodic death metal mix, they were able to do it so well within their music that I never questioned about what style of music it was. Right from the first song, Postmortem Part 1, you hear an intricacy in the music and the riffs. They really display their skills with drumming, with bass, with guitars, having interesting riffs being written throughout, and interjecting it with electronic music to enhance the overall mood, which I thought was just absolutely fantastic, with songs like Longing, The Realm of Chaos, Everlasting Lethargy, November, Never the Same. But all these songs were really fantastic. I wasn't really crazy about some of the slower songs where they're kind of hitting just more electronic, kind of give you a little mood. But I understand the mentality. I think there's sometimes when you hear records where people either use piano or just create this kind of atmospheric sound, they decide to do the same thing by using electronic music, which I think is a nice switch up for our heavy metal genre. And I thought overall the record was just strong from beginning to end, if a little long. And the vocalist Elena Scissorhands, she's actually really good. She has the aggression in her voice when she growls. She has this kind of a poppy Gwen Stefani vocals when she sings, and I think it absolutely matches. It made me think of Ginger right away when I thought about it with Tatiana. And this band kind of having this melodic death metal roots, it's basically what I wanted to hear from Arch Enemy, this inspiration in music that I haven't heard in years now with Arch Enemy, which I've mentioned on this channel. And this inspiration in music, you can hear there's a love for music here that I think is worth to check out. And I'd even never heard of this band. They've been around since 2009. I'm really interested actually to jump into the whole discography after this. I think it'd be really interesting to see what this band is all about. I highly recommend this album from beginning to the end if you're into this style, if you're open-minded enough to give it a shot. I feel like hardcore death metal fans might not be into it, or people kind of gotten used to a more traditional sound in heavy metal. And believe me, I was one of those for a very long time. It's actually starting this channel, I was forced to open my mind a little bit more and give things another chance, where I would like bands that I typically wouldn't like in the past, whether it be something liking one or two songs from Slipknot, or in being able to enjoy even some Limp Bizkit, which is kind of a goofy band. But there's none of that. I don't think this band is gimmicky, like Linkin Park, like the bands I've mentioned before. There is no gimmicks here. It's just, hey, this is the sound we wanted to create. We wanted to combine these elements, and they sound unique. They sound different. They don't sound like anybody else. Almost like In Flames with the Gutenberg melodic death metal sound, which created its own kind of niche. And it's only a plus to me to see it being done from my homeland, and you know, it warms my heart to know this kind of good music can be written. So I am already kind of a fan of this band. I'm going to be jumping into their rest of their discography. If there's fans of this band, I would love to know how this album compares into the older albums for you. If it's better, worse, whatever it is. Because if the older albums are better, oh my god, I'm excited to jump into their discography. I can't see that happening because this was just a strong record throughout. Is it my favorite record that I ever heard, or the past year or something like that? Not necessarily, but it's a strong album from the beginning to end, as I mentioned before. I don't want to stretch this review out any longer. I think you should just go check it out. especially if you have YouTube Music or you have Spotify or anything like that where you can stream the album, give it a chance. Come in with an open mind. I 100% you will be surprised at what you hear. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Guys, make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Keep it metal. And let me know what you think of this album yourselves.